Hey there, Sandy. In this video, I am going to show you 3 things that you can do today to help bring in more customers to your business. My name again is Seleni McGregor, and I work with business owners across the state of Utah. Again, I'm based out of Utah County myself. So I put together this quick custom video for you just about your online presence and specifically how you stack up against your competition. I'm sure at this point you're most likely sitting there asking yourself, why would she be doing this and what's the catch? Well, that is a fair question. What I have found is that most local business owners are just too busy, honestly, running their business. They're swamped with payroll, helping customers, answering questions, dealing with employees, and just staying on top of jobs that many times learning how to leverage the internet to benefit their company just gets buried underneath all of the other to-dos. And let's be real, half the time people haven't, the only reason that they haven't hired somebody yet is because they just don't know who to trust or know who is truly an expert. So that is exactly why I make videos like this. I have found that by giving people an easy, free attack plan of things that they can actually do to impact their business for free, it has resulted in some of those local business owners still raising their hands and saying, hey, I like you, Seleni. Can you please just handle this for me? So if by the end of this video, you've liked what you've heard, and if you can see that I've got a lot of tricks up my sleeve that can help your business, then shoot me a message back and we can chat. Or if at the end of this video, you simply want to take this free attack plan that I gave to you and do it yourself, that totally works for me too. Now let's cover the 3 things that are going to set specific pulls above your competition. First is content, second, citations, and third, backlinks. So first up is content. So since Google isn't a human, it doesn't just know what you do. It needs to be told through your content. So content is basically going to be anything here on your homepage that you see that is highlighted, and it just goes down to here. So this can be the text, it can be the pictures, what pictures are saved as, what's behind the pictures, all of that can be considered content. So of course, to show you an example of this, if we did like a right click on this image and did a save as, I can see what your picture is saved as here. Saved to specific pools home. Nothing specific, just your name, brand, and for the home page is what they're going for here. Similarly, if we jump over here, I'm sure that this will be named as something similar, just saying which page they're wanting it. Now, this would actually be a great way to be able to leverage high volume keywords and including those here in your detailed image descriptions. Again, all of these things are things that the Google bots can read and basically get an idea of what this business is, what services are you offering, what areas are you targeting, and that's going to position you in the search rankings. So the goal is having unique and authoritative content, and you want to be able to have enough of it to be able to add in the right keywords and phrases that people are searching for in Google in order for somebody to find the services that you offer. Most business owners know that they need content, but what they don't know is that in order to rank number 1 on Google for pool building, the average content count is 1,500 to 2,400 words on your homepage. Again, while making sure that it contains the right keywords and phrases that your customers are actually searching for. When I copied your content and plugged it into a tool, we can see that your website is sitting around, pull it back up, 140 words. You can see here you really don't have a lot of content here on your homepage, and it's not really including a lot of the right keywords and phrases that your customers are actually searching for. Now we're going to jump over here and kind of take a quick look at one of your top competitors right now. These guys are currently ranking number 1 in the St. George area for pool building, and they do have some content here as well. Similarly though, I actually copied their content and plugged it in. They're only sitting around 400 words on their homepage. So they do have more content than you, but they are still being found as number 1 because they're doing some other stuff right with the optimizations. But that would be the first thing that I would recommend for you, is helping to increase that content count on your homepage. Now we're also going to actually jump over here and pivot into, let me just drag those into a different spot here. Okay, we're going to jump over here into one of my tools. This tool is called Ahrefs. It's a really cool tool. It typically costs a couple $100s a month if you guys are interested to go out and get this for yourself. But it essentially gives me behind the scene details that Google is looking at when it comes to ranking a site. So I can get a pretty good idea of what's working well for you and your competition. So I've ran a quick scan right here of your competitor. Again, we've got cutting edge polls URL plugged in here. And right off the bat, I can see the overview of how many keywords their website is being found for and roughly what type of traffic that's driving per month. We're going to dive specifically in here to the keywords so we can see the exact keywords that they are ranking for and what your customers are actually searching for every month. So again, when I type in St. George here, because we do want to focus on location-specific keywords, I can see here they're ranking, this tool shows number 2, but right now they're showing as number 1 on Google. This is for the keyword pool builders St. George, Utah. That is being searched 70 times every single month there. And then they don't have a lot of other St. George like building keywords that they're being found for, but I did want to pull up a few of the others that I'm seeing some search volume for as well. We've got St. George pool builders also being searched 70 times per month. This is the one that I just showed you. And then pool builders in St. George, Utah being searched 40 times per month, and St. George, Utah pool builders also 40 times per month. And then another smaller one added 10 times per month there. Just to kind of show you this type of volume of what people are looking at. And of course, I know you guys do more than just building. It looks like you guys do some repair and maintenance as well, which has different volume and keywords there as well. Obviously, if we're trying to keep this video short, I just focused on one service. And I know this would be more of a high dollar job for you and has more volume. So this is where I wanted to focus for you. But just seeing this volume, being able to capitalize on that, what would that do for your company to be able to get all of that traffic if you guys are ranking as number 1, or even just a percentage of that traffic? Now let's actually go ahead and dive back over here. We're in the same tool, but I've got your URL plugged in here and I can see the exact same overview. I can see how many keywords your website is being found for and roughly what type of traffic your website is driving every month. Again, specifically, let's dive into these keywords and we can take a look and see what your site is showing you in. So it looks like you are being found for a few keywords. We've got vinyl pools Utah, for instance, Utah vinyl pools, and then pool service in St. George. You can see all the volume that is being searched every single month here. So it looks like with this one being searched 0 times per month, this one is being searched 10 times per month. However, you guys are in the 53rd position for that one. So you're ranking on the 5th page of Google for that. And then if you go here, we've got pool service St. George. Again, different from the pool builds that I was going on before, but that has 30 search volume. But you guys are landing on the 7th page of Google for that. So you can just see here, you're not showing for any of those St. George pool building key terms. So when people are typing in those phrases, your website's not being found at all. So again, just making sure to help, first of all, increase your content count here and using those right keywords and key terms. This is what's helping drive your competition's business, and it is 100% beatable if you're able to get that done. Now we're actually going to jump over here into Google here, and I've got one of the key terms, pool builders St. George, Utah, plugged in here. First thing we see here, of course, is the ads. They're always here at the top. And here's the thing with ads. Ads can work, but they can also be a huge money pit if your foundation or like your website isn't dialed in. So just be careful, or like if customers are using ad blockers too. So just be careful to not burn through your money on Google Ads unless you know for sure that your site is going to convert. So we're actually going to go ahead and jump down here below the ad section though into this section. This is the coveted map section. And this area has a lot to do with the second important thing that we're going to talk about, which is citations. And you're probably asking yourself, okay, well, what is a citation? Why do they matter? Well, those are great questions. So this is called the Google Map Pack. I'm sure you've seen it. You've probably used this section and possibly even thought to yourself, how in the world can I get my business up on here? And that is a great question. And that's about what I'm going to show you here. So to get yourself here into the top 3 spots, the number one thing that Google looks at is a thing called citations. Well, what is a citation? Super simple. It's just your business name, address, and phone number listed on a bunch of online directories like these. But they need to match your Google listing exactly. Having citations like this helps Google to be able to verify you and then give relevance to your local business. So to push your business up here in the top 3 spots, you just need to increase your citation game. When you get more citations than your competitors, especially from authoritative and industry-specific websites, your credibility boosts, you gain more trust from Google, therefore pushing you here into the top spots. Now, you might be asking, great, but how do I do that? Well, there are paid tools like WhiteSpark or Bright Local that tells us the exact directories that these guys are listed on, and then we don't need to stop there and just match them. We want to go out and actually beat them and dominate them. What we've seen is with most pool building companies that are ranked to the top, we usually see them around 100 to 200 citations. So if you're pushed down below that, maybe 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th page of Google, you might only have 10 to 30 citations. So we not only need to go get those to match them, but then we need to beat them out online. Now, let's talk about the last thing that we're going to go over today, which is backlinks, or often called link juice. This third pillar is really going to help you dominate on Google. Again, when I typed in Pool Builder St. George, Utah, and scroll below the ads and below the map pack, down here is where we see the organics listing section. Now you can see here your site is not ranked number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, anywhere here on the first page of Google. Now, this is optimally where we would like to sit. Now, Google statistics have shown that the top 3 businesses right here are actually getting 75% of the clicks, meaning that most of your potential customers are choosing one of these first 3 results and are never making it all the way down to your listing. So to get here, you need to beat out your competition in every aspect. You need authority. So how do you get authority? Well, this is where the backlinks comes into play. So backlinks is when one website links to another website online. The easiest way to think about it is like a popularity contest back in high school. You want the coolest, most popular kid to be recommending you. So in this contest, the business here with the most relevant link juice or authority wins. And I do say relevant because not all backlinks are created equal. So you guys are pool builders, right? Well, you wouldn't want to get a backlink from an ice cream shop linking back to you because you don't make ice cream. Although that would be tasty, that backlink would be completely useless to you. But having a backlink from like a local blog or industry-specific site linking back to you, that would be much more effective. Now we're going to jump back over here into my Ahrefs tool, and we can actually see here that you've got 25 backlinks being pointed back to your website. Now it's not bad, it's a start. It's just not dominant. When I go over here into your top competitor back to Cutting Edge and look at their overview, they have 203 backlinks being pointed back to them, and some from very strong, relevant sources. So again, how do we get these? Well, here with my tool, I can actually dive in specifically and see which exact links they are getting and go out and match those, if not better ones. Now again, getting you here to the top of Google, it is not magic. It is just a tried and true method that I have shown you that exact method today. So in closing, again, the 3 things that you guys can do is 1, increasing your content count here, getting to at least the 1,500 words with the right keywords and phrases that people are actually searching for in your area so that your company gets found. 2, citations, getting your business name, address, and phone number listed on as many online directories as possible. And finally, backlinks, just making sure to increase how many and which quality backlinks you're getting to your, pointing to your site. That way you show Google that you are the authority. If you implement these 3 strategies today, you can be number 1 across Google. Now, I know how tough the market is, and I know how dependent small businesses are on third-party companies like Angie's List. I also know how painful it is to pay for leads that are shared amongst your competitors. What I have shown you today gives you control over your leads and gives you an actionable plan, having clients come straight to your door without a broker in between. So I'm sure you're wondering, okay, well, what now? Well, you really have a few options. First, if you feel like you cannot handle any more clients every single month, that is absolutely fair. If you could just send me a quick note telling me you watched the video, tell me your thoughts about it. I'd really appreciate your feedback. On the other hand, if you are ready to grow, you can take this blueprint and implement these 3 strategies on your very own. I gave you the exact formula that businesses pay tons of dollars to have, and it's all yours to use to help your company. Now, if you found this information valuable, and if you're still one of those business owners to still raise their hands for the most effective route, just go ahead and respond to my email. We'll set up a time to chat. Once again, my name is Seleni, and I look forward to your email. Have a great day.